Hey guys, what's up?
Hi everybody. So you're going to be learning how to make an Excel graph make a graph on Excel. So I showed you how to make a graph by hand, and we did that above right here. And then I showed you how to make it on a TI calculator. Part of the project I gave you is going to involve making it on Excel. So I'm going to take the same exact data and we're going to do it on Excel. So in the computer lab, whenever you use your own data, what you're going to do is open up Excel first. And I'm not sure how much experience you have using Excel, but you always enter your data in columns A, B, and C to begin with. So in order to enter the columns, you want to give them a title first. So I'm going to call this one time. I'm going to call this one number of years since January 2008. And you will put whatever title matches your data. If you ever run over a column, all you have to do is put your cursor over and you can stretch out the column. And then this one I'm going to put users in millions. You want to make them descriptive enough that you know what it is, but not so long that your title is like all the way out across the screen. So you go like that. And then you're just going to enter your numbers. So I'm going to pause so I can do this here. But after each number, you just hit enter and you get all your data in. So after all your data is entered, you'll get a table like this. Notice my first column is the actual years. You always want to adjust it to represent the number of years since a starting point. We'll talk about why in class. But once you have all of your data entered, you want to format it into a table. And the way to do that is to highlight it. So you click in the top left, hold down, and move your cursor over. And you go to insert. You'll be going to insert a bit when you do this. And I'm going to go to table. And it's going to automatically, you just want to hit OK here. It's going to automatically give it a certain formatting, but there's tons of options here in the top right. So you can do light, medium, or dark colors. I'm going to do a medium green one. And then once your data is highlighted, what you want to do is go home and center your numbers, just so it looks nicer. So you're left with this now. And then we actually want to get a scatter plot and a line of regression. So highlight just your X and Y here. And once it's highlighted, we're going to go to insert again. There's all kinds of charts that Excel can make. It's actually pretty cool, all the stuff they can do. You want to look for the little icon that looks like a little scatter plot. Click it. And make sure you choose a scatter plot where none of the points are connected. And it'll give you, whoop, just like that, a graph very quickly. And what you want to do is make this as large as you can with it still fitting on one piece of paper. So you want to click the corner and then you can make it larger. Once you have this, there's a few things you're going to do to format it. First of all, you want to realize that if you double click it, on the right, the formatting button will come up. Give me 1 second. You want to be able to click the graph one time and this plus button will come up. You want to click that because here are the options for what you can do on your chart. We definitely want axis titles. That'll just give a label to the X and Y axis, and we want a trend line. The trend line is your line of best fit. That's what they call it. So once you have the trend line, we need to give this thing a title. So double click on the box, and you're going to just type in what the name is. Just make it descriptive here. So this is Facebook users over time. Then you want to give labels to your axes. You want to make sure you always double click. So this would be number of years since January 2008. And to my y-axis, I labeled it millions of users. Now, once you have your chart, realize that you can also format the chart a little bit. You can make it darker. You can make the scatter plots triangles, diamonds, circles, whatever you want. And once you pick a format that you like, if you just click on the graph, this will come up. This color here will give you all kinds of formatting options. There's lots of formatting you can do here. If you double click it and double click your trend line, all of these options come up. So for your actual line of best fit, if you double click on it carefully, making sure you just hit the line, it says format trend line. Now, Excel does more than just linear regression, but obviously we want the linear one. If you move this down, you need to show the equation and the R-squared value because, again, we're trying to get the line of best fit. And then if you click on the paint can, you can format it and give the ends arrows. So I want arrows on both ends here. Oops. Beginning arrow, type. Come on. I'll give it an arrow also. You can change the color. So if you want the trend line to be like orange or something, you can give it orange. You can change the width so you can make it thicker, thinner, whatever you want. And sometimes whenever it displays the equation, it puts it right on top of the graph. It's hard to read. You want to move it over, and then you can actually change the size. And if it's really small, you're going to want to change the font so that you can actually read it. Like that. Let me see. I think that's everything. So if you have all these, a title, axes, labels, your graph, and your R squared, and your line of best fit. Notice this should look familiar because this is what we got on the TI whenever we did it in class together. And you can mess around. You can format all kinds of things. So we'll be going to the computer lab on Wednesday the 27th, and you'll use your own data when you do this. See you later.